2020's racial reckoning may not have led to the policing changes so many people hoped for, but it did lead to a lot of name changes. Remember Aunt Jemima? Gone. Eskimo pie, now Edie's pie. Also in 2020, we got the thick-billed longspur. It's a bird, once known as McCown's longspur. It got its name from a man named John McCown. He was an amateur bird collector. He was also a Confederate general. There are 6 other North American bird species the American Ornithological Society plans to change for similar reasons. And this apparently set off a big debate among birders ahead of their annual meeting, which kicked off in Colorado this week. Birdwatcher Christian Cooper was there. You'll remember his story. We showed a bit of the video just a moment ago. On the same day George Floyd was killed in Minneapolis, a white woman called police on Christian after he called her out over her unleashed dog in Central Park. And that incident was part of the Black Lives Matter conversation that year. And Christian Cooper, now the host of National Geographic's Extraordinary Birder with Christian Cooper and the author of the memoir Better Living Through Birding, he is with us now. All right, so I expect that there are people who are saying, now they want to change the name of birds. Confederate monuments, okay. Aunt Jemima off the pancake box, fine. But birds, come on. To that you say what?
Well, the first thing you have to understand is that bird names change fairly regularly. So what has some people upset is that why these names are changing. And the reason is because a lot of these people have some pretty awful histories. And so we can either keep living with those awful legacy histories, or we can do something to change them and at the same time be giving these birds names that are actually useful to people. Like if you say to somebody, oh, I want to see a Wilson's warbler, nobody knows what you're talking about. But if you say to somebody who doesn't know birds, oh, I want to see a black-capped warbler, you at least know you're looking for a warbler with a black cap. So, you know, we're getting more useful names on the one hand and getting rid of these legacy names that have often a lot of bad connotations.
So let's go through a few of them, some of the first 6 to change. And John Kirk Townsend has 2 in the first 6, Townsend's warbler and Townsend's solitaire. Tell us about John Kirk Townsend. These are fine-looking birds, but why did he make the list?
Well, because he was a naturalist and an ornithologist, and so he was, you know, very important in ornithology, but he also robbed the graves of indigenous people to send to his pal in Philadelphia who was measuring skulls to prove his racist theories about how white people were superior. So, and he knew what he was doing. He knew that this was a desecration of other people's religious beliefs, and he didn't care, so he did it anyway. And it led to a legacy that's still with us today of this thinking about racial superiority. Even though it's been scientifically disproven, it held sway for so long, it's still embedded in a lot of people's thinking.
Scott's Oriole, General Winfield Scott. Why did he make the list?
Yeah, this is one of the worst ones out there because he wasn't a naturalist. He wasn't an ornithologist. It's just that one of his privates under his command happened to, quote unquote, discover this bird to Western science, and he named it after his commanding officer as an honor to his commanding officer, who happened to be the guy who presided over the Trail of Tears that led to the forced relocation of 17,000 Cherokee. And in the process, a third of them died. So it's really a case of genocide. And this guy has a bird named after him that every time an indigenous birder says the bird's name, and the bird has nothing to do with the guy, they've got to put that man's name in his mouth. That's not right.